Yan Diomande's story doesn't begin at the Santiago Bernabéu, under the lights of Real Madrid. It begins thousands of miles away in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, where a young boy grew up dreaming about football. Born on November 14, 2006, Diomande grew up playing the game in the streets and on dirt fields, dreaming of becoming a professional footballer. Football wasn't just something he watched, it was something he lived. And from an early age, he dreamed of reaching the biggest stages in the world. But getting there was never going to be easy. As a teenager, Diomande moved to the United States and joined DME Academy in Florida. For a young player leaving home and trying to build a football career in another country, the transition was difficult. He had to adapt to a completely different environment while continuing to develop his game. At DME, his talent started becoming impossible to ignore. He played for the Academy's associated team, AS Frenzy, and helped them achieve an undefeated season and win a local league title in 2023. Then came the European dream. Diomande went through trials with European clubs, including Rangers, but things didn't immediately work out. There were moments when it looked like the dream might be over. According to Diomande's own account, unsuccessful trials and visa problems eventually forced him back to Africa. For many young players, that could have been the moment they gave up, but Diomande didn't. A few weeks later, everything changed when Spanish club Leganés gave him an opportunity. In 2024, Diomande joined Leganés and began his professional journey in Spain. Suddenly, the teenager who had once been trying to convince European clubs to give him a chance was now inside professional football. His first major breakthrough came quickly. He made his senior debut for Leganés in 2025, and although his time there was short, his performances were enough to attract attention from one of Germany's biggest clubs. That club was RB Leipzig. In the summer of 2025, Leipzig signed Diomande from Leganés. He was only 18 years old, but Leipzig saw something special in him. The club had a reputation for developing young players, and Diomande was exactly the type of talent they wanted. He was fast, direct, technically gifted, and fearless when facing defenders, but nobody knew just how quickly he would explode onto the Bundesliga scene. At first, Diomande had to adapt. The Bundesliga was faster and more physical than the football he had known before, but instead of taking months to adjust, he started making an impact almost immediately. He scored his first goal for Leipzig in the DFB Pokal and then opened his Bundesliga account against Augsburg. And then came the night that announced him to the football world. Against Eintracht Frankfurt, Diomande scored a hat-trick in a 6-0 victory. Suddenly, people who had never heard his name were asking one question: who is Yan Diomande? At only 19, he was becoming one of the most exciting young attackers in Germany. But the goals were only part of the story. Diomande's biggest weapon was his explosiveness. He could receive the ball wide, accelerate past defenders, cut inside, and create something before the opposition had time to react. His street football background was visible in the way he played. He wasn't afraid to take risks. He wanted to attack defenders rather than simply pass the ball backwards. And then the 2025-26 season became the season that changed everything. Diomande finished his first Leipzig campaign with 13 goals and 10 assists in 36 appearances across all competitions, while also winning the Bundesliga Rookie of the Season award. His performances helped Leipzig qualify for the Champions League, and suddenly Europe's biggest clubs were watching. But Diomande wasn't finished. He had one more stage where he could announce himself to the world: the 2026 FIFA World Cup. For Ivory Coast, the 2026 World Cup represented a huge opportunity, and for Yan Diomande, it was the biggest stage of his young career. Only 19 years old, he entered the tournament as one of the players football fans around the world wanted to discover. And he didn't look overwhelmed. Diomande played with the same confidence he had shown in Germany. He attacked defenders, carried the ball forward, and looked dangerous whenever he received possession. Against Germany, he registered an assist and played a major role in another attacking move, showing that he wasn't simply a promising club player anymore. He was beginning to look like an international star. The World Cup increased his reputation even further. European clubs had already been monitoring him, but after his performances in Germany and on the international stage, his value exploded. Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, Liverpool, and other major clubs were linked with the teenager. And then Real Madrid entered the race. At first, Madrid's pursuit wasn't straightforward. Their opening offer was rejected by Leipzig, and negotiations continued. Other clubs were interested, while Leipzig wanted to protect the value of their young star. Reports suggested enormous numbers, but Madrid eventually pushed the deal over the line. In August 2026, the story reached its biggest chapter yet. Yan Diomande became a Real Madrid player. Real Madrid officially confirmed an agreement with RB Leipzig, signing Diomande on a contract that runs until June 2033. Reports put the deal at around €125 million plus performance-related bonuses, potentially making it one of the biggest transfers in the club's history and the most expensive African transfer. Think about how quickly this happened. Just a short time earlier, Diomande was playing for Leganés after struggling to find a path into European football. Then he moved to Leipzig. He exploded in the Bundesliga. He became a rookie of the season. He played at a World Cup, and before turning 20, he was wearing the shirt of Real Madrid. But now comes the hardest part, proving that the €100 million plus price tag was worth it. Real Madrid is not just another club. At Madrid, young players don't get unlimited time to develop in the shadows. Every match is watched by millions. Every mistake can become a headline. And Diomande is arriving at a club filled with world-class attackers and enormous expectations. But there is a reason Madrid believed in him. His speed, his ability to attack one-on-one, his direct style, his creativity, and perhaps most importantly, his mentality. Diomande has already experienced rejection. He knows what it feels like to leave home, struggle in a new country, fail trials, and wonder whether the dream is disappearing. He also knows what it feels like to suddenly become the player everyone wants. That journey may be one of the biggest reasons he can handle the pressure. And there is another emotional part of his story. Diomande has spoken about his late sister Roxane, dedicating his rising career to her. His journey from Abidjan to the biggest stage in football has therefore become more than just a transfer story. It is also a story about family, sacrifice, rejection, and never giving up. Now, the next chapter is waiting, the Santiago Bernabéu. The boy from Abidjan, who once dreamed of becoming a footballer, is now a Real Madrid player. But becoming a Real Madrid player is not the end of the story. It's the beginning, because Yan Diomande has already gone from Ivory Coast to America, to Leganés, to RB Leipzig, to the World Cup, and finally to Real Madrid in an incredibly short period of time. The question is no longer whether he can reach the biggest stage. He's already there. The real question is, how far can Yan Diomande go? Can he become one of the best African footballers of his generation? Can he become a Real Madrid superstar? And one day, could the teenager who nobody knew about become one of the biggest names in world football? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, Yan Diomande's story has only just begun.